This Minecraft Championships was one of the most crazy and weird events yet, with so much happening throughout. But who rose to the occasion to grab the top spot? These are the top 10 players of MCC 24. But before we begin, let me know who you thought did incredibly this event in the comments section below. And whilst you're down there, subscribe. I'm a small channel, but I have big dreams, so if you could subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Anyway, enough messing around, let's start with 10th place, CRinos. I've got to say I called this in my player predictions, because CRinos is back and definitely made his mark on the event after a few sporadical appearances in the previous ones. He excelled in a number of games like Ace Race and Hole in the Wall, where he even managed to beat Illuminati, as well as BattleBox and BuildMart, helping his team into 3rd place, which of course they'll be slightly disappointed with after missing out on Dodgeball. But all in all, it was a terrific tournament for the Purple Pandas and CRinos, who had a score for this event of 2,474 points. 9th place, CPK. It's now 4 events in a row where CPK has finished in the top 10, which is incredible, as he tried his best to push the Lime Llamas to the top, coming out best of his entire team. Despite his great performances in Rocket Spleef Rush, Hole in the Wall and Ace Race, I'm sure he'll be determined to push towards getting into Dodgebot again and the top 5 when the next event comes around. For now though, he achieved a score of 2,504 points. 8th place, Fruitberries. Fruit had a great time this MCC, really getting along with his hermit and smallish teammates once again. Unfortunately, despite some heroic performances in Sky Battle, Rocket Spleef Rush and Sands of Time, where he got so many coins without even opening a vault by the way, his team unfortunately only got 8th. But hey, at least it's easy when people ask him what position he got this MCC. He can just say 8th no matter what, especially with a score of 2,672 points. But anyway, where there's a fruit, there must be a ninja. And up next is 7th place, Illumina. Unfortunately, Illumina just misses out on Dodgeball for the 2nd time in 2 events, as he finishes in 7th place, with his team placing 3rd. Good Meltdown and Sands of Time performances from our ninja unfortunately was just not enough to help his team sneak into Dodgeball, only missing out on 2nd by just under 200 points. Even with Illumina's amazing score of 2,768 points. Maybe next time will be finally his event. 6th place, TommyInnit. Just like CPK, Tommy has now got in the top 10 in the last 4 events, which is a fantastic achievement by the child, with him also making Dodgeball 3 times in a row, thanks to the leadership of the almighty Sandwich Lord. Sadly, this wasn't enough however, as he now has 2 losses in a row in the final showdown, seemingly having some doubts of his skill, despite a brilliant score of 2,784 points, with impressive performances in Rocket Spleef Rush and BuildMart. So keep your head up Tommy, you got it next time. But before we move on, remember to subscribe, it would mean a lot to me, as we get to perhaps the closest scores ever, which starts with 5th place, Sapnap. The Blue Bats had one hell of a tournament, bringing chaos and fun in almost every minigame right from the get-go. As Sapnap showed, all his valour and skill was exactly what was needed as he dominated Meltdown with his team, breaking both the team and individual records. He then followed this up with yet another 1st place individually on BattleBox, as his team went 8 out of 9 altogether, getting him a score of 2,959 points for this event. 4th place, jojosolos. Jojo is back in the top 5 and it couldn't be more well deserved, especially after her dominant Sands of Time, which saw her get 425 coins without any vaults being opened by her, which is a bit insane. Along with that, a second place finish in Rocket Spleef Rush and a great performance in Ace Race managed to get her a brilliant point total of 2,298 points, only 2 points off the 3,000 point mark, also bringing her team to 4th, when a lot of people predicted them to come last. So, well done Jojo, yet again. 3rd place, Dream. It's time to tackle the issue of the event with the Ace Race Dream incident, where we saw Dream finish first, which would have given him a massive point advantage. Unfortunately, the game had to be reset due to many players DCing, which meant Dream lost his first place, which definitely upset him massively, which is completely understandable. However, sadly, I do think this was the best course of action for the event, with so many people having problems. And I'm sure if Dream had similar issues, he would have wanted the same. In terms of it being decided at the end of the race instead of actions being taken sooner, I will defend Noxcrew and say it happened on the final lap, and it would have been very difficult to make that choice so quickly. But anyway, don't let that distract you from just how incredible Dream was this tournament. Obviously Ace Race would have been massive and definitely deserves a shout out, but also Sands of Time, Battlebox and Sky Battle, which his performances were incredible in, and I could have watched them over and over again. Overall, he brought home a point total of 3,050, but as I say, it could have been more, as he was just peeped by 2nd place, Purpled. After a few events out, Purpled returned to keep his hot streak of top 3s a-rolling, and what was extra special this tournament was he managed to come second with a 7th place team, which is kind of insane. His incredible Ace Race of course helped massively, as well as great performances in Build Mart and Rocket Spleef Rush, although I'm sure he's still annoyed about that punch from Illuminati. But even so, he managed to get a score of 3,057 points, only a few ahead of Dream. But none of that could ever match 1st place, HBomb 94. The legend returns, and for the first ever time he's managed to get 1st place individually, which is insane. HBomb is obviously a master MCC, and somehow he managed to guide the chaotic Orange Ocelots to 1st place with his performances in Sands of Time, Hole in the Wall, Meltdown, Ace Race, Build Mart and Rocket Spleef Rush, being just ridiculous. I mean, this man was destroying, and with a score of 3,251 points, it was a really well deserved victory for HBomb, even if his team did throw in dodgeball like you wouldn't believe. But anyway, we'd now reached the end of this MCC, so there's only one thing left to say, which is to thank you all so much for watching, and of course, peace.